driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope that you are having a good day. I hope good days are being had abound. Just had a pretty good talk with a fellow person who does what I do. Yeah, we're going to do some fun stuff. Yeah. I'm going to start a podcast, and we're pretty much going to, we're going to be calling bullshit on a lot of things. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, I haven't checked this today. 663. Yesterday I had 2 downloads. All right. We're going to be reading from Language of the Heart today. We've dispatched your items. Lies. Hello. So we're going to be reading out of Language of the Heart. And I just like the title, so I decided to go with it. I'm presuming we're talking about the big book, right? And how the big book was born. I kind of know, but gosh, nothing wrong with knowing a little bit more. All right, let's get started. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. They're still letting us use this one. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. It's the holiday design. Usually they let me have this. Where's this? Or this. But everybody seems to prefer this. Let's go with Whoa today. Yeah, let's do that. We're going with a yellow theme. The book is born October 1945. In recent Grapevine articles, attention has been drawn to the fact that AA is still in the process of forming a public relations policy. That failure to crystallize a sound policy could seriously cripple us. During the first 3 years of AA, no one gave a thought to public relations. It was the time of flying blind when we feverishly sought the principles upon which we might stay sober and assist a few alcoholics who came around wanting to do likewise. Hey, Chris. Yeah, they call me Mellow Yellow. We're entirely preoccupied with the life and death question of personal recovery. It was strictly a man-to-man affair. We hadn't even agreed upon a name for our movement. There was no literature. By the fall of 1937, we could count what looked like 40 recovered members. One of us had been sober 3 years, another 2.5, and a fair number had a year or more behind them. All of us had been hopeless cases. The amount of time elapsed began to be significant. The realization that we had found something began to take a hold of us. No longer were we a dubious experiment. Alcoholics could stay sober, great in numbers perhaps, while some of us had always clung to this possibility, the dream now became real substance. If 40 alcoholics could recover, why not 400, 4,000, or even 40,000? Hi, Ingrid. Once this spectacular notion gripped us, our thinking underwent a sudden change. Our alcoholic imagination certainly had a field day. By temperament, most of us are salesmen, promoters. So we began talking very big. Mere boxcar numbers wouldn't do. We went astronomical. Undoubtedly we said this was the beginning of one of the greatest medical, religious, and social developments of all time. Well, we should show the medical profession and the sky pilots that where they get off. Ugh. I mean that. Why, we only had to sober up all these boys and girls and sell them God, whereupon they would revolutionize society. A brand new world with ex-drunks running it. Just think of that, folks. No, thank you. Now, suppose that promoters, publicity, why, of course. Millions of words. Money? Sure, it would take millions naturally. The matter of money and publicity would be a cinch. Such a campaign of high-powered selling directed at our American tycoons and editors would quickly settle the question. How could they resist when they saw what we had? Just watch us drunks. Actually, a few of us were pretty nearly as bad as that. No circus barker was ever so enthusiastic or extravagant in his cries as were some of us in the fall of 1937. In fact, I can recall having done a great deal of barking myself. Now, suppose those promoters of those pioneering days had not been slowed down. Suppose that our public relations policy had been left fully in their hands. Suppose they had been able to raise millions to flood the country with AA propaganda and wild claims. We would not only have fallen out with our best friends, religion and medicine, we would surely have been discredited among the very people we wish to most to reach. Alcoholic men and women. Much money would have meant a large staff of professional AA therapists or do-gooders, and promoters plus money would surely have meant ballyhoo on every subject under the sun from prohibition to communist Russia. Internally, if we still existed at all, we would have to have been torn apart by political controversy, religious dissensions. It is what happened to the Washingtonians, who then has saved us thus far. See, the Washingtonians decided to go big. And they fell pretty hard. We learned from them. The Oxford group learned from them. In fact, I think the Oxford group is still a little bit better about it on this. So, sorry. The people who did the saving job then and who have continued to save us much trouble since are the class of individuals with whom most AAs are impatient. These people are the conservatives. They are the go slow, think it over, let's not do that type. Not many of them are found among alcoholics, but it's certainly providential that we have always had a few such around. Often accused of being a drag on the process, as they sometimes are, they are nevertheless a priceless asset. They bring the rest of us down to down out of the clouds. They make us face the realities of experience. Lost my place here. They foresee dangers which most of us would blithely ignore. Sometimes their conservatism is overdone. They needlessly view with alarm for the good of the movement, knowing that mere change is not necessarily progress. They instinctively resist change. They never wish to take an irrevocable step. They often shrink from those final decisions from which there is no retreat. they keep out of trouble by making sure never to get into trouble. The first discussion of our public relations in 1937 at Akron will always live in my memory. The promoters could think of nothing but getting the glad news of our recoveries out to millions of alcoholics overnight, if possible. If this were done, God would do the rest, they said. But the conservatives did not think God did business this way, and they were right. The conservatives then proceeded with terrific impact to make the point that the man of Galilee had no press agent, no newspaper, no pamphlet, no books, nothing but word of mouth to carry the spirit from person to person, from group to group. Why should we deviate from this example? Were we to substitute ballyhoo for personal demonstration? Were we to favor personal glorification in public in place of quietness, humility, and anonymity? These were good questions. They made us promoters stop and think. They obliged to concede much to the conservatives on principle. We still felt their counsel was that of perfection. It wasn't practical. The conservatives retorted that while promoters had built a many successful enterprise, they almost always bankrupted what they had built if they were left long enough in charge. We promoters, and I was one of them, came back with this. How, we inquired, could the go slow boys sleep nights when they reflected that after 3 long years we had produced but 3 small groups, that America had million alcoholics dying like flies, that within gunshot of where we sat, perhaps hundreds who could get well if only they knew what we knew. And did alcoholics in California have to wait for relief to get there by word of mouth only? And wasn't there the grave danger of our successful methods being badly distorted unless reduced to writing and put in book form? And if we made no written record of what we had found, might not the columnists get funny and start deadly ridicule? Caution, we agreed, ought to be observed by all means. But still, didn't we need a book of our own? Some publicity. We're almost done. Kind of a little of a long read. 3 more paragraphs, they're small. Such was the gist of the discussion, out of which came the decision to publish the book Alcoholics Anonymous. This led to publicity, to the establishment of our board of trustees, the Alcoholic Foundation, and the creation of the central office, now the General Service Office at New York, where alcoholics and families can write literature and direct help. Our rapid and seemingly healthy growth the past few years has pretty well demonstrated the wisdom of these early decisions. The point is obvious. If these vital matters had been left entirely to the promoters like me, we would surely have gone hog wild and spoiled everything. Had these affairs been left exclusively to the conservatives, it is probable that the few of our present membership would yet have heard of AA. Thousands would have remained miserable. Many would have been dead. So it seemed clear that the sound policy can only be made by rubbing the conservatives and the promoters together. Their discussion, if free from personal ambition and resentment, can be depended upon to produce the right answers. For us, there is no other way. Having now shown our first step in public relations was taken, I would like in forthcoming pieces to tell more of our recent experience in this field, with emphasis on the desirability of continued modesty, anonymity, and fidelity to one objective only, that of carrying the AA to the alcoholic who wishes to recover. I got a package today. I believe it's from World Services. Let's find out. Where did this come from? World Services. Let's see what's in here. Want me to open this in front of you? Let's see what's in it. All right. Probably a big book. Living Sober. Whoa. This is what they sent me. The group handbook. Ooh. AA for the older alcoholic. GSR kit. Get some stuff. All right. I was hoping for the 12 by 12. All right. Well, that is how. I don't know if that was really a good story. You know, on yeah, I wish the book would have been a little bit more adventurous. All right. Let me get rid of that. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm going to go wind down my day and stuff. So, I love you all. Thanks for being here. Peace out and have a day.